challenge the biggest content creator for Diablo Immortal, Echo Gaming, to come into the live stream during the marathon until we hit the 10k and face my fearful chat questions. We went through Echo's journey throughout the YouTube, the new hyped game that is being playing MoCo, a lot of questions about Diablo Immortal, including one that if we had one thing and only one thing that we could change in Diablo Immortal, what that could be. Very exciting. I think you're also gonna like it. So let's dive into the interview. If you guys don't know, Echo Gaming, Diablo, biggest Diablo creator around the block, has been here for a very long time. He pretty much brings all the news and all the exciting stuff. So, Echo,
yeah,
almost 5 years, man. Almost 5 years you've been around the block.
So 5 years in Diablo Immortal, 9 years on YouTube, bro. Yeah.
That's very impressive, man. That's actually very impressive. Like, for me, I only been around like I saw today 7 months, and I can't imagine like the dude that's been doing this for 9 years and going through the ups and downs. How have you been feeling? Because now you got like a new wave here. You had like your main channel like with 300,000 subscribers. You covered so many things, and now you are covering like this new game. You want to talk about it?
Sure, man. Yeah. So I mean, YouTube is a crazy journey, man. I got multiple channels. Everyone that's probably here knows me for the Diablo channel, but yeah, the new channel has been kind of the hype lately. Supercell came out with a new action RPG. I actually tested it on the Diablo channel as well to see if the community kind of vibed with it. And honestly, more people vibed with it on the main channel because it's a Supercell focused channel. So I've been streaming every day over there from 2 hours a day, putting out videos every day, just kind of letting people know what's up with MoCo. It's crazy because it's so different than Diablo.
Yeah.
It's like a cyberpunk game, and it's 100% free to play. The only thing you could buy are cosmetics. It's actually so crazy to feel that coming from Diablo Immortal.
So that's like the dream that we be always wondering is like a lot of times we speak here on the chats, like what could have been Diablo Immortal if we went with a more cosmetic side? Because we had this discussion in the past, and I already heard like your opinion. And you said that, well, if we didn't have like the pay to win coming from the legendary gems, maybe, Diablo Immortal will not be here or will not be as successful like when it comes to financial side. But the reality is that Diablo Immortal had at some point like 11 million players, right? And do you think that if we didn't have all that drama with the pay to win, maybe obviously we're not going to be seated in 11 million players because there's always a drop off, but maybe, I don't know, like some 5, 6 or 7 million players?
So obviously if it wasn't pay to win at all, then we would have more players. I mean, we know that a large number of players are turned off from the game because of the pay to win. I mean, Let's be honest, it's one of the heavier pay to win games of all mobile games. So yes, it would have more. So you have to wonder, like, Diablo Immortal is not like your typical mobile game. It's like Diablo 3, but on mobile. So it's a much deeper game than you get from typical mobile. So we have to wonder, like, if Diablo Immortal wasn't pay to win and you could only buy cosmetics, could they support that kind of development? And if the answer is yes, that cosmetic only could support that development, then they made a mistake, and that's the way they should have gone, because they would have had more players buying cosmetics. Bring us the Phantom Market like every month, and they could make their money from that. Plus Battle Pass that would be cosmetic focused. I mean, MoCo has multiple events a week. Every event has a pass with it that's like $5, and every pass comes with cosmetics. And if you like the cosmetics, you pay the $5. If you don't, you don't. Just bring more events. You have more opportunities to make money. If Blizzard went with that model, they definitely would have had more players. The game would have had a lot more reception. But I don't know if it would have made more money than if they went with this heavy pay-to-win model. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there'll always be the uncertainty. But I want to go a bit deeper here, because like you've been playing MoCo for how long now? Like around like 1 month?
It's about a month, yeah.
So, you've been like through the first impressions, maybe like you're turning into like a more, you're playing every day, you're streaming every day, creating content every day. So what is like a more realistic overview of the game? What do you what is like your, like you ever saw like that microtransactions do like the brutal honest true or whatever, like after 1 month, because like I am curious, because I kind of like the other day I downloaded the game, so on my iPad. I didn't try it yet, but I'm kind of curious. But I want to first hear from you, what do you actually feel like, what is your true honest like?
Sure. I'll be very brutally honest with you. First of all, you can't play the game. You downloaded it, but you need an invite code to play. It's global, but invite only, and they're not doing invites right now.
Oh, okay.
So we're not sure when more invites are going to come. So that's bringing some scarcity to it, right? Like everyone's like, I want to play this game, but I can't. So that's obviously hyping it up more too. Okay, there's different elements of the game. You have worlds where you're running around open worlds, taking down bosses, running with mobs of players. Like on stream, I'll get 50 players all running together in these mobs. It's so satisfying. It's just something that's so great about it. Plus, the music in the game is awesome. It kind of builds that vibe. Yeah, it's actually on Spotify. The music, it's that good. It's legit music.
All right,
it's really cool. Then you have your rifts, which you're running through a stage, beating a boss at the end in teams of 4. Super awesome. Then you have your dojos, which is solo battles that you have to do through these different stages. Challenging, but cool. It challenges you as a player. And then you have PvP, which needs work inside of the game. PvP doesn't have big enough rewards. There's not enough incentive to play, which means you're playing against a lot of bots, and people don't like that. So that is the downfall of the game right now. But the cool thing is, Supercell is on, like, they know they're listening to the community, they're taking feedback, and they're not giving up on PvP, which makes me happy, because I don't want to lose that. And it'll be modified over time, and I have a lot of faith that it's going to be good. And the cool thing about PvP is you could join the game in a year and play against me, who've been playing for a year. We have the same power. There's literally no power. You may have a cooler cosmetic, but there's literally no power, nothing at all.
Okay. So that's okay. So that's cool from a perspective of like a new player, if we see it. But from a veteran standpoint, that you're putting like so much time, right? Like if now maybe I'm having like my Diablo Immortal player hat, right? Like, okay, I put 1 year into the game, and I'm not gonna be as strong as someone that just started, right? Maybe I don't know how I will feel about that, but you say that at least I will look cooler, like, right? You have like new cosmetics and all these things, right? But MoCo, like, for me personally, whenever I see it, I'm not like that familiar with the, like the Supercell kind of games. Like, definitely it feels like the games are targeted a bit for like a younger audience. And like, it's not like the game that if I was gonna scroll like on the App Store, that I will probably play it if I didn't know you, or I didn't saw you like you streaming, that you've been doing. And I actually want to ask you, like, how is your streams been going? Because like you didn't used to stream that much. Now you're back on streaming. How has it been going?
Sure, I'll be brutally honest here. I'm streaming on a channel that's 9 years old, right? My channel thrived 5 years ago when it was doing Clash of Clans. I was getting great views. I would do streams. I had a couple of 100 people in the streams. That was its prime.
Peak.
But it was its peak. After the last couple of years, though, like if I popped up a stream a month ago, I'd get 15 viewers. It would be quiet. It would be nothing there, because I was covering just general mobile games. People were going there to learn about what mobile games should they play. It was a top 10 channel. I switched to MoCo. Dude, I'm getting like 150, 200 people in the streams. The content itself, the videos are doing great. There's a lot of people really want to watch the game. So for me, 1, I love the game. 2, it's really good for the channel, which, as this is my job, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah.
It's really rewarding and refreshing. Like, I thought that channel was done, and I thought there was no more growing it. But now, it's having the best month it's had in 3 years, which is crazy. Yeah, that's so pretty cool.
I'm really happy to hear that, man. Because like sometimes there's like, it is still like your first channel, right? It's like still your baby in a way, and you try, man. Like, you tried so many things, and it's still like very impressive, like 300,000. It is quite an achievement, right? So MoCo, you're very excited about the change. It is, and also it's like you took the risk, right? Like you saw an opportunity, you took the risk, and now you're getting the rewards. And as I know and very well in EU, whenever we try to take risks to go and play other games, most of the times, maybe like, I don't know, 1 out of 10 or 1 out of like 100, it goes,
Yeah.
it goes right. But most of the times you're gonna fail. So I'm very excited for that, and maybe I'm seeing like some inspiration for me to also build up some courage. I'm gonna have a new PC, and hopefully we're gonna do other games. So very very excited for that. So I want to ask you also another question, that now that you are in this new wave, you're all excited with the MoCo. How is that leaving you with the Diablo Immortal?
Good question. Well, first of all, I want to say I saw Red October in the chat say we need more Echo live streams for Diablo. I'm streaming 5 days a week for MoCo, and it definitely has made me feel like, damn, I need to give Diablo Immortal a little bit of live stream love. So what I think I'm gonna do, I got spring break coming up with the kids next week, and so probably the week after that, I think I'm gonna start doing 1 live stream a week for Diablo Immortal. I got to stay on the hype train with MoCo because that's what's
Yeah,
brand new. But I also I need to give a little bit more to the Diablo Immortal live things because it's something that I think is really great for the community. And now that I don't do anything but YouTube, I literally don't have a job outside of YouTube. I have time that's opened up. So yeah, in about a week or two, I'll start doing some live streams there. What was your original question? I completely lost it.
my
Sorry.
original question is like, what is your feel like now that you tried like a brand new game, MoCo, right? And you're all excited, you've been playing and creating content around it for the 1 month. How is that leaving you with the Diablo Immortal?
Right. The games are so different. They're the same genre, but so different. I love Diablo Immortal. I've loved it since day one. All of its flaws, all of its pay to win. I still think it's a great game. Diablo Immortal is a PC-like game, where MoCo is not a PC-like game. It's definitely more of a mobile feel, and all of these games have, they fit different uses. Diablo Immortal is like, I could really build out my character, and I could grind for that build, where in MoCo, you just unlock new weapons, they level up over time, and that's it. It's super easy to put builds together. There's no classes or anything like that. Where Diablo Immortal, you're investing so much more in. There's this community in both. I'm still very uh, I enjoy Diablo Immortal a lot still. I do think that it's in a lull right now, so it's definitely not its peak time right
Yeah.
now. But I do still love the game, and I have no intention of like stopping playing Diablo Immortal. I still play it every day. I still put a video out every day, even on days when there's freaking nothing to talk about. I'll
Yeah.
still put out a video.
that's
So
that's actually one of the most impressive things. Like, you actually put out videos every day. Like for me, I try to, as a creator, I always try to get some inspiration here and there, right? And with you, what I learned is that sometimes you just gonna make like this middle term between, you're the player that you enjoy the game and you just create content because you enjoy, and the other one is because like, oh, you also want to build up a channel and you want to have some responsibility. But at the end of the day, if I don't have like anything like valuable to say, I don't post. But it's very rare like the time that I actually cannot come up like with something to actually make a video, and that's actually thanks to you. Like, I just start seeing the way you do it, and how can you come up like with the videos out of nowhere. So a lot of respect on that. And I wanted to ask you something. So 3 years since the game has been live, in 3 years, plus the 2 in the beta, they've been creating content. Do you feel like after these 3 years, the game, it is like more complex now, that maybe it will require you to spend even more time to make more dedicated content for it? Or do you think like you still can output like the content that you have, even as a casual?
yeah, I could output content no matter what. Remember, I covered this game for 2 years before it even came out, and I did videos about the freaking grass inside of the game. Like, but a lot of those videos, they didn't have value, right? Like, they were just low value videos. I think something that we forget is, and my video today focuses on this. there's new players joining this game every day.
Yeah.
We never think about the new people. And when I see successful YouTubers in other games and stuff, most of them focus on things for new players, how to get the most value out of something that's for not for the whales. The whales don't need to watch us. They know
Yeah.
they know more than we do,
Yeah.
you know? So it's really for all these new people coming to the game, which we often forget. Today, in my video, I was on Reddit and I saw someone asking a question about the battle pass and is it worth it? Buying the battle pass for $5, will it really help my account? So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I actually address this in a video? And then I shared it with him on Reddit and I gave him his answer. And it was a valuable piece of content, which probably won't do well short term, but it's going to answer that question for new players. Like, what do you actually get from the battle pass?
Yeah.
And very easy to forget that content. And a lot of people that have been watching your channel or my channel for a long time, they're like, why are you putting out this video for noobs? Like, everyone knows this already.
Yeah.
Well, everyone that's been here forever knows that, but there's, 100 new players every single day. There's actually more than that probably, but there's hundreds of new players every day that don't know what they're doing in the game, that still need help with, like, what even is gear? How do you level your gear? People don't know anything, because at the end of the day, for a mobile game, there's a lot of depth in it.
No, the 100%. Like, you actually touch on a very good point, right? Like the new players, that the new blood, and after like you play the game for 3 months, you already think you're a veteran. So, this content is no longer for me. But yeah, we have to have some empathy that we all were noobs at some point, and it's actually hard, like for me nowadays, like, because like as you said, and also, well, like veterans, they don't really need a lot our content, right? Like, I know whenever, for example, I make a build guide, and I usually make it for the new player, because I know the veteran is gonna open, is gonna skip to my ancestors, he knows exactly what ancestors I'm using, he looks at the green set item, he knows what it is, and he closes the video, right? So that's what they do. And how do we know? Because that's how I do as well, right? So my question was more like, in terms of like, the game nowadays must be more complex, right? That it has more systems than it had in the past. It is slightly do you think like it's actually more challenging nowadays, or it's just like the same thing but just like more bloated, like more crafting systems, more because like I feel like in terms of difficulty, maybe still the same, right?
Yeah, I actually think it's easier. Like, I remember when open world farming and stuff wasn't just run through things. When the game came out, like,
Yeah.
all those essences weren't there, those powerful builds weren't there. We didn't have the gem power, maybe. So it's definitely gotten easier. Obviously, Heliquary bosses, you get new Heliquary bosses that are more difficult, and you're continuously being challenged. PvP is difficult unless if you're a whale, because
Yeah.
you're just not going to be. So really, the systems are cool. Some of the stuff is cool. I like the pets, but I like the pets because I like it to collect stuff. Like, that's
Yeah.
why I like them, which is probably the least of its benefit. I like that they've added new systems. I don't like when systems are overly complex. Like the charm system, I think, is ridiculous, and that's been
Yeah.
there for 3 years. And the pets are still complex. Like, they don't need to be as difficult as they are, but they are pretty complex, even though they are making it a little bit easier with time. And then the different game modes, I always welcome that, like the Abyssal Verge and all that stuff. It's really cool that that's there, and that there's different things to play. Um, I don't think the game is more difficult. I think there's just more to understand. I don't think that anything is particularly difficult, though, once you get an understanding of it.
Yeah, like the bloat of systems that we have right now, maybe like it just requires to watch a few more guides on YouTube, because like I think like Diablo Immortal does a very bad job, especially when it comes to self-explaining the things. And I had that problem whenever I started to create, to play the game, and I used to watch your guides and other creators' guides, and you guys definitely helped me a lot. And now I try to create guides as well as you do for people, because like we don't really like to read, but I feel like in 2024 the systems, like for example the new loyalty system, there are so many people that they just don't understand the system. Like we have now 2 currencies, and there is a legacy one and there is the normal one, and people like think that they have to go into a older difficulty to get the legacy ones. So it's just like I feel like in terms of like design, the ideas are in the right place, but maybe the executions are not like being implemented in the right way, which leads to a lot of players like coming into my chat in the comments, like they have like so many questions regarding these new systems. And I don't know, like do you think like these new systems are they are trying to fix all the problems like we had with the loyalty bonus, but they are actually coming with the more complex ideas that are actually not solving it?
Yeah, I mean, the old problem, the whole thing with the loyalty system was newer players' inability to catch up, right? So they're
Yeah.
trying to make an easier catch-up mechanic. I don't think it's overly difficult to figure out, but at the same time, I don't know that their fixes are always the best. I feel like Blizzard will often fix things with a new system rather than fixing an old system.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I don't really know how to answer that in a way other than
I feel like
there's definitely bloat.
yeah, maybe like some. I personally think all they needed to do is to remove the weekly cap, the 100 instances, and pretty much was done. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
switch.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch gears. Let's talk a bit about like classes. Okay, I know that you were a barbarian. You love barbarian.
Mhm.
Are you excited for the druid?
Yeah, man.
Are
I'm
you?
excited for the druid. I'm always excited for a new class, 100%. Even if it's something I test, I always end up going back to the barbarian. But I am very excited for the druid. Although that hasn't been officially announced yet, they have been like doing things that make me believe it's what it's going to be. Um, the game, that's the biggest spike that the game gets every year, is a new class, and I think
Yeah.
that they rely pretty heavily on that. And then they have like in the winter a big story moment.
Yeah.
Those are the two big things. So as a content creator, I'm excited for a new class because maybe my content will like get a little bump because things are they're a little stagnant and slow right now. But for the class itself, yeah, I'm excited for the druid. I actually was playing a little Diablo 4, I don't know, maybe a month ago or so when I heard about the druid. It was probably 2 months ago now. And I played druid because I wanted to like see what it was like. I never played it before. It seemed pretty cool. So I like the idea of the class. I don't think Blizzard needs to bring a brand new class every time to Diablo Immortal. Utilizing some from other games from the past
Yeah.
or future are cool. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna get though. Like Bloodknight was hype. Everyone, a new class,
Yeah.
and it's in Diablo Immortal. Tempest did not have that hype,
No.
not to the extent of the Bloodknight. So um, I don't know what we're gonna see from it, but I know that most people are gonna switch. Most people are gonna try it. Many people are gonna come back to the game to try out the class. It's gonna be a positive thing, and I'll play it day one as well. Maybe I'll even get to play it with you over in Blizzard HQ. I don't know. That would be cool.
Oh man, that'll be cool. You know what? I told you that if that ever happened, we actually gonna go to the gym. I've been working out. I wanna go with Echo to the gym. We're gonna pump some weights. We're gonna make that happen. If this happens, you can actually do some funny things together. But yeah, I feel like the druid is I think is a risky option. I can see like why the Blood Knight could be like very exciting. Also, it was like 1 year after the game, right? Like, so there was still like some slight hype. Maybe some people got a bit disappointed in the beginning, but they came back. For Tempest, I don't think, even though Tempest inside the game it is extremely good, I don't think like the whole fantasy or the way they did maybe the promotion of like the class, it isn't as appealing as the Blood Knight. I think the Blood Knight definitely it has some I mean, I am playing Diablo Immortal because of Blood Knight. Like Tempest, I even when the class came, I didn't even play it, you know? I played after 1 month. I just didn't like it. Even today, I know it's like one of the most famous classes, and I should play for the views, but I just don't. But Druid, I mean, Druid is like is definitely a different thing. I kind of really want to try Druid. The same as you, I also played on Diablo 4 a lot of times. I probably have like 500 hours on the Druid, like something stupid.
In Diablo 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I
crazy. I didn't know that.
So season 1, even though the game was pretty boring, I kind of level up every class to level 100. I played season 2, season 3, and season 4, and then I just like stopped playing because like the game was not like getting any better, and then you kind of just get like very disappointed. So chat, feel free to actually ask questions for me or for Echo. We'll be starting like very soon, maybe a Q&A here and there.
Sure, I'll answer any questions.
So okay, we talked about the Neo class, which probably is going to be the next spike. But as you said, like having a spike every 6 months or maybe even like every 3 months is not as exciting for us as a creator. Besides MoCo, is there any other game that maybe in the future you'll be, you have your eye on?
Okay, 2 answers to this. One, Etheria Restart, I think looks really good. It's a JRPG, turn-based strategy game. You guys know I like turn-based strategy. I play Raid on Raid channel.
Same, I love it.
Etheria Restart comes out in June, and it's very anime. I don't have an anime channel, so I'm I like the idea of starting an anime channel where I could cover different anime games. That could be the start of. But this is going to be maybe an unpopular comment. I am always looking for games to replace Diablo Immortal. I'm always looking for the next game that's going to be better than Diablo Immortal. The problem is nothing has come that's better yet. The game is still the #1 dark fantasy, hell-ridden action RPG. MoCo is great, just it's too different than Diablo. I would play MoCo on the Diablo Immortal channel. People wouldn't be interested because it's so different. We need people that are like gnarly men that want to go bathe in people's blood in the flames. That's what Diablo, we need. So there's the only game that I think can come close to Diablo Immortal that's on mobile is Undecember. We've talked about it before, but that's just not going to be a popular enough game to ever take over Diablo Immortal.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad, like I don't know. I feel like maybe the way and the reason why they go like with this more anime approach and like the other thing, which is the like the Supercell, what do you call that, the cyberpunk style? I feel like because it targets more a younger audience, I think, and most of the mobile players maybe like they are younger, that's why they go with that. I feel like gacha is actually, the anime style is probably one of the very few that actually goes like from teenager to maybe like our age, like because like if you are an anime lover, like you like to watch like these animes, maybe you're gonna like these gacha games. So this turn-based game that you're talking about was like what, like a Heroes Collector kind of game?
Yeah, it's just like Raid Shadow Legends.
Okay, but in anime gacha game?
Anime, there's open worlds that you can like run around and interact with others. It's story. It's like Honkai Star Rail with turn-based strategy combat.
Okay. I see.
Which is I like that idea. I like that type of gameplay. With that said, you said something before. Oh, what's up, Mutant Destroyer, right here in the chat? He's someone from my Raid channel that's a great friend as well. What's up, man? Oh man, I just lost train of thought. Right. Oh, you said about mobile games are for younger people. I actually think a lot of older people as well play mobile games because of their lack of time to sit at the PC. I'm one of those people myself, and that's why I had kids and I started playing Clash of Clans. I stopped playing Gears of War, Call of Duty, and Halo, and I found Clash of Clans. And that's what started 10 years ago, me like doing this whole YouTube thing. I love the idea of sitting and grinding Diablo at a PC, but I just can't. And when you have a kid one day, Indez, you and your wife start popping out kids and stuff, you're like, that's what Echo is talking about. You'll understand it, bro.
Yeah. No. And also because like our generations are like the first ones to get into to be the gamers, and now we're getting older and maybe we're like adopting more like the mobile. But I was saying more like in the sense that the general basis, like the audience, most of the times that play the games are usually younger. That's why like these games, they try to appeal for like the youngsters, right? There was here a question from Michael. He said, how do you guys feel about getting with Blizzard and putting a tournament together in Diablo Immortal?
Yeah, I've liked the idea of tournaments inside of the game forever. It's just they don't have a system in place to do like custom lobbies or anything like that. If
Yeah,
there was a way that we could custom bring 10 people together and have a 5-on-5, death match, that stuff is awesome. Like that's how esports are born.
yeah.
But I remember when Blizzard was developing Diablo Immortal, they mentioned that there's no thought of ever bringing esports to Diablo Immortal. So I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, I also don't see it happening. Unfortunately, like Diablo Immortal, PvP relies a lot on the pay to win side. A lot of people get turned off like immediately because of it. A lot of people still love it, but I don't see that ever happening. But it could be
Mhm.
fun because like to be fair, like I know that I don't think you were because you were like doing something, but we had like whenever we did the testing for the battlegrounds. There was actually a bunch of creators. We were all together and that was a fun event. That was a fun event. I kind of wish I could have live streamed it. So they have the means to actually make it like a custom lobby, private, but not in the public realm. So maybe, but to be honest, man, I think like that's just not gonna happen. I don't see, and actually that's like the other side, like where do you see that actually this game is gonna go, like do you can you feel it, like what is the vision of Blizzard for this game, or it's just like are they just like on the maintenance mode trying to come up like with just good enough to maintain like the population, or like because like for me sometimes it's very hard to have this a read from Blizzard.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything crazy different than what we've already been getting from the game. So I
Yeah.
don't want to say maintenance mode, but I do think that like we're not going to get. I've been noticing like all the events that are being cycled in the game are all the same.
Oh my god.
I'm getting a little bored with them, man.
Oh my god, same.
Like I love Survivor's Bane.
Yeah,
I'll
but
play it
even
every
that.
time, but it's I know, but it's all the same,
Yeah.
It's so they need there's I mean, what else are they going to bring? They've already dove all in on this being heavy pay to win. There's no going back from that. So that kind of kills any PvP stuff. Them doing any free to play PvP inside of the game, how is that going to make the money and be beneficial for them? I don't really see a way.
Yeah.
Them putting out free to play servers, that only hurts their bottom line versus helping it. So I can't see them doing that. Although I love the idea,
Yeah.
but here's a question for you, Indez. If they start, well, I guess you are free to play. I was going
Yeah.
to say, if they start a free to play server, would you start a new account in there?
Yeah,
If you can't,
absolutely. They won.
you would, and you would kill you
Yeah.
would just play there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
I don't know that
for
I could. I've invested so much time. I don't know that I could actually drop it and start over again.
I mean probably I will still I will not delete the account obviously, but probably I will start it fresh because I feel like like this, here's how I see it. If I can get some kind of fun or happiness in this game, I will take it, right? So this is why, for example, whenever sometimes I switch to a class and I'm having fun, I will stay a bit longer because like after 1 year of playing the game, you in Diablo Immortal, you're finding something that you're having fun, especially when you're creating content and all these things. Like your life is kind of around this game. It gets like harder. So absolutely, I'll start over. And because I feel like also for me as a player that I am, I really like I think like the beginning of the game or starting fresh, it is always the most exciting. So if there was a free to play server that I knew that no pay to win was gonna come and I had a chance to be one of the best, I would dedicate that time for it, you know?
Hmm. That's a good take, man. I initially would say that I wouldn't go. I mean, I got 3 years into the account. I don't know how much I've spent. Not a ton. I'm definitely a low spender with like 3K res, but I put a couple of grand into the account over the past 3 years. Um, but you make a good point. Like maybe like what if Blizzard said we're starting a new server and incentivized everyone that came over with a Phantom Market cosmetic to start out, to
Yeah.
start on this server or start a second account on that server. Maybe I would go do it. Like that does seem like a lot of fun. Different types of content you can make too.
Yeah, but it needed to be different. Like why the main reason why these new servers that they launch they don't catch up. It's because it is only for the new players. There is no incentive for like a veteran like us to go there and create a new class because the experience is exactly the same, right? So in your head, you're like, why really I would like kill my character to start a new one to just have like the same experiences all over again. But if you're a free to play, like that experience, it will be kind of different, right? But as I said, maybe it's not for me. Will be that experience will be kind of similar, but at the end of the game and just having the possibility that could be one of the best, that's very exciting. But Red October was actually asking here, what about hardcore servers?
Yeah, it's like the other side of it. Hardcore servers are tough when you're talking about something that's pay to win, because if you pay for that account and you die,
Yeah,
you can't lose all your money. Like they'd have to figure out a way. So if there was a way to, like, let's say you spend 10 grand, which sounds crazy, but we know it's not in Diablo Immortal. Let's say you spend $10,000 in your account on a hardcore server and you die, you need to instantly be able to start a new account, a new character, and take that 10,000 to reinvest, or else it wouldn't work. I think
yeah.
hardcore is cool though. Like it's definitely cool. Definitely adds level of difficulty, but it doesn't play well in the sandbox with the monetization method that they have.
Yeah. I tried like a few months ago to try to do this hardcore challenge, and after I did it for like 2 or 3 days, I just realized this game is not ready for that. It's not ready for the hardcore experience. To be fair, it was first it is the game is too easy at the start. Then it's just like everything just takes like a bit too long, and above all, it's not fun. You know, it's just like it's not fun to make a hardcore character in because like it just takes so long to build up a character in Diablo Immortal, months and months. Like it is fun when you do it in Diablo 4, where like in 3 days you're already like with your build, and the challenge is like I want to reach to the in these 3 or 4 days to the max level and to have my build and not die. I don't want to, I don't want to have my build online in 9 months, and having to deal with that. So I don't think that that will be a good thing. CB is asking a question to us. If you had one change only, and if you could implement now, what that will be? If we could only implement one change on the game right now.
The change that I would ask for would be literally massive. So I don't know if this counts, but like I've said it since day one, for PvP, I'd love to see lobbies like when you log into Call of Duty, where you could choose any class, any skills, any gear, and you go in and fight, and there's no power. Like everyone is on the even playing field. You choose the weapon, you choose the attachments, you choose all of that, and then you go fight in all different game modes. This is like the shooter way of having PvP. That's not how I would change Diablo Immortal, because it's literally a whole other game. They'd have to create a whole new server or a whole new game mode for that, which I don't see them ever doing. So I think that's a really unrealistic ask. Bring back bounties and my pets. I want my pets to do my bounties for me again. That's a realistic one.
I read this, and I was gonna say that you were gonna ask for the pets to start doing everything.
I want to do it all, man. I don't want to play the game. I just want the pets to play it for me.
Yeah, the other day I was saying that we already have AFK farming. Maybe we can have AFK dungeon farming. Like we just send the pets and the pets farm the green gear for us. For me, yeah, like tell me just something. I want to follow up on what you just said. Is MoCo more or less what you were just saying regarding the PvP system? That there's no pay to win, and you just go into a lobby and you select what you have. Is more or less like that?
Yeah. So basically, you have a closet that has all of the weapons. It has all of your gadgets, which are your skills. It has all of your passive abilities, and it has all of your rings, which are buffs. And you put on your weapon. You put on 3 gadgets, you put on 3 passives, and you put on 3 rings. And then you go. If you want to take that to PvP, that's what you take to PvP. If that's what you want to take to the open world, it's what you take. It actually, I wasn't even thinking that when I was making that comment, but
Yeah,
it literally is what it is. You just go
yeah,
to your closet, equip what you want, and you go fight
yeah.
in all the different game modes. So
Yeah.
it's
And
actually pretty cool.
there's difference. Okay, so these inside these items or the rings that you're talking about inside the gear, is there difference in terms of like the power level, or they are like uniques? They all look the same.
Oh no, power level is completely different. You have healing weapons that don't do a lot of damage, but you could do healer builds. You
Okay.
have tank weapons that don't do a lot of damage, but can tank. Ranged weapons, close-up weapons, ones that spawn things like a necromant. Literally just recorded a summon build today, which is the strongest in the game. They definitely vary, but they are very dependent on how you pair together a weapon with the gadget, with a passive, with a ring. So that's where the guides come in. But also, it matters like if you're doing like 10v10, it really doesn't matter. Then you're just spamming. But if you go in duos or solos, like you're gonna want different builds depending on what you're doing. And the
Oh.
PvP inside of the game, there's also PvE involved in it as well. You have to take down world enemies also. So it's really cool.
Oh, so it's like it's more or less like the new one. Remember? Okay, remember when we did that video for your channel and you asked me about the new zone, and I said the new zone is a great idea because you capture the flags, you kill mobs, and you also kill players. Right?
Yeah.
Concept feels kind of cool. And I said that, this feels cool. It was fun, but if they don't give a purpose, that game mode is dead. Well, after the first
There's no
week,
purpose.
there's no purpose. Everyone
In
can
this,
get to tell me.
can I admit something? I've
Yeah.
still never played that. I've
I
still
mean,
never. There's been no incentive. There's been no pop up to play it. If I
yeah,
don't go search for it, I still haven't played that, which is crazy.
yeah. And the thing is, like, you don't have instead. Wait, what's happening? There's a
Getting a
there's a
phone call?
yeah, but I'm not finding. What is the? It's like someone is ringing to my house.
Oh,
Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry.
it's
Hopefully,
okay.
they don't ring it again. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I was excited, like, and the good thing is, like, you don't have to do it. There is absolutely no reason for you to do it, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Like, they just put it all this effort. They've been hyping, they've been leaking for like the past 6 months. I think I saw leaks for this for like from the China server, like and it comes, yeah, it's fun, but then nothing to do with it. So if I had like one
Yeah.
change, like for Diablo Immortal, um probably I will make Diablo Immortal 2 just a PvE game, just a
Really?
PvE game.
You
Yeah,
would pull out PvP altogether, huh?
yeah. I will do like literally a Diablo mobile game, just PvE, because here's like my take. Even though, and this comes from I love PvP. I really love to play PvP, but I realized along the way that it is very hard to have this hybrid game, that you have PvP
Mm.
and you have PvE. And I feel like whenever you do this, you really never excel at anything. Everything will be kind of mid. So if we look at the PvE in Diablo Immortal, is very mid. If we look at the PvP, well, I feel like it is even below mid. So if I could, I will pretty much make Diablo Immortal just a PvE game, or like a new game, and remove the combat rating. Yeah, remove the combat rating. I feel like combat rating,
Mm.
it is absolutely one of the, since the start, since day one, I don't like the way that you cannot really progress on the most challenging content just because you are lacking like 100 points and you're receiving 99% more damage, or you're doing like 1% of your damage. Like, that system itself, it feels always really bad, and I never liked it.
Yeah, I actually like the idea. You made a great point. When the Flickerstone Barbarian came out, that was the first time, and that was literally years into the game, that I really dove into PvP. And I found myself only wanting to do PvP, not wanting to do anything else,
Yeah,
because I was invested in that part of the game, which meant events, bounties, dungeons all
throw it off.
struggled.
Yeah,
Right. And now that I'm more focused on grinding my account, I don't touch PvP. You're right. A hybrid game, it's really difficult to excel in both.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could literally make Diablo Immortal into two games,
Yeah.
a PvP game and a PvE game. But obviously they don't want to do that, and I don't know that it would be a good choice even if they did. But yeah, I mean, what I do now inside of the game is 99% PvE focused. I like to progress. I like to work with the builds. I think that that's a lot of fun. PvP is like a different beast, and it's hard to do both unless if it's your only game. If we think about the general gamer, we're not general gamers, but if you play one game and you put a couple of hours into it every single day, sure, you could do your bounties in regular grind and then you could focus on what you want to. But being that you have to do that, I don't think that people want to have to do things in games.
Yeah.
They should
Yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah, because like now you're looking for a different type of PvP experience, right? And as you said, this is a major ask. It will be an entirely different game. But if you imagine that PvP Diablo game, that could be a really good thing, right? And the same way as, for example, right now, just an example, we are having these nerfs coming into Barbarian. Like the chains have like 50% less range. For Tempest, they are reducing the range. So all these changes they are making also in PvE, it is all because of PvP, right? So in a
Yeah.
way, they are ruining your experience in PvE just because of PvP. So this gets a lot of players upset, right? Like I feel like, and I already asked like on the Diablo's Discord that I said like, man, if you guys gonna make like these substantial changes, because like the chains, like one of the coolest abilities for Barbarian, even in PvE, it's pretty fun. Like you just grab the mobs, they come to you, and now imagine like you have like small chains, like you're not gonna use that. yeah, just
Yeah.
like some small hooks. And it's just like if you're gonna do the change, like just make them for PvP if you can. Otherwise, it's just gonna ruin it. So
Yeah.
there was here someone like asking so many times, Lord Phoenix. He was there. He was dying for you to talk about Bloodknight.
Man, the last time I played Bloodknight was when the Bloodknight came out. I played for like 3 months. One, Bloodknight has the worst cosmetics in the game. I can't stand how his pole sticks out of the back of his cape all the time. In every cosmetic, it bothers me.
Oh,
Blood Knight's fun though. I like that the Blood Knight could heal. I think that's one of the coolest things about the class. I like the bats. I like the dashing. But to be honest, I am not an expert on the class. I haven't played it in a year and a half. I probably something I do bad as a YouTuber is I don't class change enough. I should probably class change every month and then make guides on the new class and then move on. But I don't do that because I really like particular ones.
no, but the thing is like you have multiple channels, you play like multiple games, and to do like something like that, as someone that does it, it requires like pretty much like an extra level of farming, because like the major thing, the major pain point, it is to get the new instances, right? So you change classes, you gotta farm the new instances, right? And this is gonna take you like maybe like 2-3 hours per day, maybe like 1 week to just even get the answers. Then you have to learn how to make the build. Then you have, you know what I'm saying? Like every time that it's just such a big time investment. I feel like personally I can do this because I am doing as a full time, and I do it on the stream and off stream and all these things. But if I was like covering like 2 or 3 games, like absolutely, I don't think I can. So maybe I will say, for example, Aurat is a good example. It doesn't cover all the classes. It covers like 2 or 3. No, the ones that he likes the most. Imagine you have Crusader, Barbarian, and maybe you can add something in the mix. That I feel like it is capable, and that's what most people can actually do. But besides that, like trying to go for like the all the classes, and now soon it's gonna be 9 because we're gonna have the Druid. It probably is gonna take like a lot of time. So my personal opinion, go with the 3 maybe if you want, and if you don't want, to be honest, so many like you have like other YouTubers that they do very well. Like you have like they just specialize in 1 or 2 classes, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
No, there's not. I mean, like I'll never go back to the monk. I just can't stand that class. Sorry, Red. But like, I went to the monk, I saw a cool build, and I tried it, and I'm like, man, this is just not enjoyable. I just didn't like it. So I obviously have to. just because I make videos on stuff doesn't mean I can't. I have to enjoy the game too, or else I don't want to get on. I don't want to play it, right? So
Yeah, no,
I agree with
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I am monk now, and it is very boring. That's very- yeah, because like the time that you actually played it, which was like with the helicopter build, right? Like with the
Yeah,
staff rotate, that was kind of, it was like probably the best time to play monk. And even so, if you
fun.
didn't enjoy that, yeah, probably definitely monk is not gonna be there. Is not gonna be there.
Mm.
So, Echo, thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate. It's been man, it's been such a journey, you know, and yeah, I'm very grateful for everything that you do. Not only on the YouTube channel, but also with all the talks that we had. Definitely big inspiration for me, and all the help that you've been giving me, and also the Diablo Immortal community, and now the MoCo community, and all in the future games that you're gonna cover. So I really appreciate you, brother.
No, I appreciate you as well. I love these talks. I love talking about the game and other things. I do have a question for you though before I go.
Mhm.
Did you shower between yesterday and today, or is this makeup on since yesterday? What's going on?
No, no, yeah, I showered. I actually
Okay,
been working out every day, and I
good for
want
you.
to. Yeah, it's because, bro, I'm telling you, like a few months ago, we had a talk, and I looked at you, and I was like, okay, don't start blushing, okay? But I was like, man, this guy is a father. He has multiple channels. He even goes to the fucking gym. He even records a video going to the gym, and I'm like, what am I doing, man? And I thought, I said, man, I gotta man up, you know. So I started working out, eating healthier, doing my grind, trying to figure out my things, and yeah, I did work out, I did shower, and I put it back the costume. Yeah,
A true barbarian would have just kept it on and been dirty and grimy, man.
yeah,
Just
but
saying.
maybe my wife would not like that.
True, true. Well, I'm happy for you that you're going to the gym and taking care of yourself. That's
Yeah,
important, man. Good for
yeah.
you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Echo. Thank you, chat. We're gonna be finishing here the day 2 of this marathon. Tomorrow we will be back, and with these guys, thank you for watching, and I catch you guys on the next one. Peace.